All right, guys, so the last video ran a bit long, so I'm going to talk a few minutes about the books that I mentioned that I recommended for summer reading. First thing, let me tell you, if you are looking for baseball books, go to your local thrift shop, your thrift store, Goodwill, whatever you have in your community, because I picked up 8 books that were baseball related, all for like $14. So it was just a great deal to have some stuff to read over the summer. So let me give you a brief description of the 3 books I showed you in the last video. Baseball Caught by Eddie Dominguez. If you want to learn a little bit about the PDE area and some of the shadier things going on in baseball, this is a book I'd recommend to you. This comes straight from a guy who was inside what was going on in Major League Baseball, was part of the investigation group, worked for the Boston Red Sox, and then started working for MLB. He spent time dealing with things on the Mitchell Report. He spent time dealing with guys like Pedro Martinez and Alex Rodriguez, and he's got some inside close interview information related to that because he was in the room in a lot of those interviews with Major League Baseball, with Manfred, with Selig. So you get his neat perspective on all that. Plus he spent a lot of time with international baseball and kind of dealing with the issues, the illegal nature, dealing with players being smuggled out of Cuba or players being held for ransom. So he's got some really great stories. Has a Cuban heritage, so was able to build relationships with a lot of players in South America and Latin America. And there's even a connection with the Castro family in Cuba. The next book is Branch Rickey by Jimmy Breslin. Breslin is a well-known author. He wrote several books on the scene there in the New York area. So great book. It's a short book, 150 pages. You get a little more perspective from Branch Rickey's side of things versus just the Jackie Robinson story. And if you want to know why he was so successful and was able to work out the whole process of trying to integrate baseball, it's because he had a great track record prior to that ever beginning, and it's just his background led him and his beliefs led him to thinking that this was the right thing to do. So check out Branch Rickey. The book that I'm currently reading is The Gamer, A Life in the Major Leagues, focusing on the life of Gary Carter, so Gary Carter's autobiography, so to speak. This book was written in 1993, so this was prior to all of the PED era, so you do have some things that he mentions in here about drugs that were going on in the 80s, but you get this kind of perspective of how things started off for Carter in his life. Right now, I'm currently in the middle of where he's playing with the Expos, and he's giving some inside stories about how he ended up becoming the starting catcher there in Montreal. So a really cool story, great background for Gary Carter fans. If you love catchers like I do, then this is a great book. Hoping to wrap up the Gary Carter book this weekend and then dig into another one of these nice affordable books I found at my local thrift store. So what do you think, guys? Should we go with some old school Boston guys and their relationship here with Ted Williams? Who else is here? Bobby Doerr. Maybe read a book about Stan the Man Musial. Or how about The Best Team Money Can Buy, a story about the Dodgers? Who knows? How about you comment down below? Let me know which one you're interested in. Thanks, guys, and do it for the love of the hobby. See ya.